Welcome to this recording where you're going to listen to insightful moments recorded during live coaching sessions with my clients who come from diverse professional backgrounds. And if you like what you hear today, please share it with your friends and colleagues. And remember to hit the subscribe button now and ensure that you never miss any other episode. Thank you. Now, some of the exercises you can do for your voice to increase the ability to access expression are warm-ups, such as voice warm-ups that access what we call the chest voice vibration. You can feel the vibrations in the chest. Some people feel it and some people don't, but it feels like it comes in the chest. The vocal folds here are shorter and thicker. And so, then we have medium, and then we have really high-pitched. For example, it can sound a bit fake, or sometimes it flips for some male voices. You can hear the flip. Sounds like the Bee Gees. Remember the Bee Gees sound, or Savage Garden back in the old days, where you could hear the voice sounded fake. We don't want to sound fake when we speak. The idea is to have them all connected, that chest, middle, and head voice, blended and connected so you can use it. And the idea also is that if you can exercise your voice, you're exercising the muscles to stretch from thicker in chest voice, shorter, to thinner and longer as they go higher in frequency and pitch. Now, the vocal folds are stretching horizontally, but the vibration feels vertical. Now, you don't lift the chin up or chin down, anything like that. You just stay horizontal, fixed in one position, because really the vibration isn't what you're chasing. That's just like a shadow. It's just a parasympathetic sort of sensation that you may or may not feel. So we call it head voice because some people do feel vibrations in the head, but it depends what you're doing. If you're doing M's or N's, the vibration comes to the front of the face. But some other ones, you can't feel it as much. So there's a great exercise. There's a few exercises. One of them is an NG that comes from the word ring or sing. And as you're going into that head voice, that higher frequency, you slide the tongue forward across the palate, the hard palate in your mouth, because obviously the tongue is sitting up. NG, right? And the tip, you want to make sure it's not arching to the back of the throat, that it's sliding across to the front. So, now, as you're doing that movement, allowing that slide, siren, that's another name for it, you need to do it very slowly, because obviously the slower that the breath allows, by the way, depends if you take a breath, you can go longer. Now, the slower, the more muscle interaction there is. And so we want these muscles to develop. We've got two muscles, one pulling the vocal folds out horizontally and one going vertically. Okay, so there's quite a lot of coordination going on. And so we want the Now, if you've got a male voice, you can't make it sound like mine. I'm female voice. My voice is going to sound a lot brighter because the vocal folds on women's voices are different to men's voices. Men's voices can still go, or the male voice can still go very high and low, but it will never be compared to a woman's voice. Okay, so keep that in mind. The other one is a lip trill. Again, I'm not lifting my chin. My tongue is soft. My jaw is soft. I have enough breath for that. I'm going slow. Another one is a tongue trill. Okay, then there's a straw. And again, the article I wrote on that is called Speaking from the Heart, and you can find it on LinkedIn or anywhere. Now, a thicker straw with not as narrow will be easier to do. So if you've got a thicker straw, it'll be easier because obviously the air pressure going through a wider hole is going to be less resistant. Ooh, I hardly feel that at all. I need a narrower one. And then what do I do there? That's probably one of the best exercises to do because the air pressure is coming down into the larynx and in the trachea, and then it's also resisted from the top. So the vocal folds and the whole larynx is sandwiched and it's basically sitting in its natural position. So it's very, very good for you to do that one. And again, you need to breathe before you do these exercises. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to prolong them because you don't have enough air. So these are basic exercises to do to warm up your voice, to go low, medium and high. Exercise it because when you're sitting at your desk all day and speaking in meetings, most people are not expressing themselves unless they're deliberately trying to use more energy, because it does take more energy to create more variation. And when you're speaking at one tone all the time, it's like you can create an RSI problem. Not only are you boring and monotone, but the voice becomes very stiff. The mouth doesn't move enough. There's not enough expression because there's not enough energy and intention. Okay, so you've got to have intention for voice because voice is the organ of the soul. You need to have intention. You've got to want to be heard. You've got to want to be interesting. You've got to want to emphasize words and be creative in the way you speak, and that includes those facial gestures that helps the voice. You've got to want to put that energy in it. It will cost you more energy, particularly if you're an introvert, okay? So if you don't, you're going to create like this lack of mobility. It's like my arm is only going to move a little bit instead of full rotation. I'm going to create a stiffness and a tightness, and it becomes harder and harder, particularly as you get older. Right? So anyway, so these are the exercises. And then you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, going up the stairs, and 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming down the stairs. How are you today? Oh, great. Wow. Can't believe it. You know, I was trying to catch up with you on the weekend, but you know what? I thought I'm just not going to do that today. I'm not going to ring you because I was waiting for you to call me. You know, so I'm just expressing myself, playing with my voice. So maybe reading poetry or reading out a book to a child, something that would activate you to be expressive is something you need to practice, because if you don't do it intentionally, you'll probably never will. So, and then stay boring. So we've got to change that. Thank you for listening to this recording. I hope it has helped you. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time.